Hello, my beautiful friend. So far, we talked here much more about beauty, and I'm telling you why. I'm talking about beauty here, or at least I was talking about beauty, because there's a thing. I love makeup and I love doing myself and I love these things. But that does not mean that I'm spending all my days being all put together, or that I don't know, I forget about the things that are truly important to me. No, that's not gonna happen. But it's just a fine way to treat myself and I'm doing it. Now, I know that in beauty industry, and especially anything that is targeting beauty, is seems a little bit superficial, but yet it's not if you know how to use it. And it's not if you know yourself and if you know what's important to you, okay? Because it's important to feel that you're a woman and that you take care of yourself and you're as you want, okay? So that's important. But it does not mean that you only have to do that, or that's just everything that you are. Of course not. But it's like a fine way to use makeup to just put yourself, in a shape that you want. I don't know, make yourself something in a way. So let me tell you something. I was today in the mirror and I was like doing my makeup for shooting, and I spent a little bit of time for my mascara, and I was feeling so good just applying it, okay? Just applying it. And that was a moment. And that was so satisfying that I cannot find a satisfaction in any kind of stuff. So, I think we should do the things that we love and the things that are, I don't know, make us feel better. For some years I didn't know how to apply makeup, or I didn't know that thing. But I started to learn, and it was a nice skill to do because I felt much more competent, and it's definitely helping me. As an autistic person, I need a little bit of tools, props. And as a person who have dealt with so much of situations in life, I have a condition, therefore I got easily fatigued and overstimulated. Therefore, I need some prop when I'm out in the world, and some days I can cope with the days if I am landing myself, I need a shield, to know that I am okay and this is the form in which I will function. Is like applying makeup would be like just sealing my energy inside of my body, and feeling that I am within this shape and I'm okay and I can face everything during the day because I am all put together in the form and shape that I want, with the colors that I want. And that's important. And especially when I see myself, or if I feel I feel something about myself, it's like it puts me in a different mental shape, okay? And especially if I'm adding some kind of color on my face, I feel like I am much more vitalized based on the color I put on my face. And you don't have to use makeup from stores in order to do that. You can definitely make something on your own. I just made a colored cream based on onion peels. You can definitely use whatever you want, but just being a woman and applying something that's based on red on your face is really helpful, especially because we are losing red. Therefore, applying it on your face, it can do so much better. I don't know. There's the beetroot color, pigment. You can use whatever you want. Do your own thing. It's like it doesn't have to be that much of I don't know. It doesn't have to be anything that you don't want to be, okay? But just find your way and go with your way. And just applying some color on your face makes you feel better. And of course, as a feminine part, we are like a fluid. We are like water, okay? We need to be contained. Masculinity is made to contain us. If that masculinity is not available for that day, or period of life, or whatever, you're single or whatever, you need a form, you need a shape, you need a vase to keep you up, okay? And that shape and that container can be your own makeup and outfit. And I know some days we are not into that, but from time to time we need that, like a gentle reminder from time to time that we are in that shape and we are contained within that shape. And that's important to do, especially that the female psyche is a little bit different. than the masculine psyche, and female psyche is very much more fluid, and it's much more, it can get loose very easily, of course, okay, because our sexual part is like being loose, okay, and abundant, and like be that vibration, okay, and therefore that blueprint is there in our life, even though we are not sexual or we are not, I don't know, engaging. Therefore our psyche is like, has this blueprint, and whatever we do to contain ourselves or to remember that you have I don't know, one shape, you know, a certain shape, that's the time in which we are doing such a great benefit to our psyche and how we are functioning. And that's so important, because we need to function, we need to, I don't know, cope with certain things, and we need to face some others, and we need to live, and to live properly means to, I don't know, feel properly, and sometimes all these things can help. For me, if you ask me, I really love to be beautiful. And I don't mean that I have to be all put together every single day, but from time to time, oh, this is such a great reminder, you know. I mean, I don't know, you cannot change those things with something else, you know, switch them. It's important to know what's your thing, how do you feel good about yourself, okay, what makes you be in your shape, in your mental shape that you want to, what's your optimal phase. And that's important to know, especially as a woman, because if you place some reminders along your life, you will be much more available and in tune with what you are, and you will be much more stable, okay, because being a feminine and all the hormones and all the changings is like every day is a change, okay. Therefore, if you place your own stationary flags alongside the way, you can have another representation of your life. Therefore, you can mark your station of stability, and that is very important, very, very important, because it's like that's so recalibrating some parts of our psyche. When I say psyche, I mean everything that we are, unconsciously, subconsciously, and consciously, okay, because we are not only the conscious part, we are much more. And when we are doing something that influences that part, we are much more in tune, we are much more complete, and everything falls into the right place much more easily. Therefore, look about these things, you know. I know being a woman is like being aware of which phase of the moon is, which phase of the month is, yeah, which phase of within the relationships we are in, and in the seasons, and also, you know, it's quite a tough business, but we are doing so great about it. So I don't know, let's just add some things that are just kind reminders to ourselves that we are okay and we are doing well, and we are, let's say, it's important for us to feel beautiful because it's a mark of our health, and it's a mark of being able to deal with everything, and we are dealing with much more than we know about. So that's good, and that's important to know. Therefore, I wish you to find your way of placing stationary, I don't know, flags alongside your way, so that you feel much more stable and in tune with what is important for you. Therefore, I leave you with that. I hope that you have a great day and a great week. Why not? Until next time. Bye.